Hello, everybody. This is Fonzie from the Weekly Shonen Jump channel, and welcome to the first episode of Hang Time. This is actually going to be a very different commentary show instead of just, me and Hiro reviewing the chapters of the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine online. Instead, this is actually going to be more about what's in for video games and some of my thoughts and opinions about it. And of course, I'm not omnipotent, so feel free to constantly give me comments about what I believe in certain video games. And being that Hero's not exactly familiar with the video game scene, is that I'm going to be taking care of this. So basically, this will be me, and sometimes Hero may show up once in a while if I let him off the leash. First thing that we're gonna go on is that this is September 15th, 2013, and in just a couple of days, the Tokyo Game Show is going to show. Now, for those who don't know what that is, it's pretty much another gaming expo, but only for games that are being made in Japan. So there's no like overseas commentary on any of that. So we're going to be hearing things about like Final Fantasy Versus 13, Final Fantasy 13 3, which is going to be Lightning's Return. We're going to talk about more about the revealing of what's in Pokemon X and Y, and a little bit into Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends 8, including the attention that Samurai Warriors is getting after the release of their fourth game coming out. But we're not going to focus on that. Nope, we're actually going to focus this episode on a particular series that has been, close to my heart for a while, and I've been a fan of it ever since that my cousin and my friend Matt from grade school uh, introduced me back in 2002, and that would have to be Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, the giant Disney Square Enix combo that surprisingly made huge hits around the world. Now, we're talking about this one because obviously last previous summer that we got released information about Kingdom Hearts 3, and seeing as how that's actually on the discussion list for the Japanese, the Tokyo Game Show. It's still in Japan, it doesn't matter. I feel like there's going to be a lot of hype to this game, and seeing as how that this is the third title, and being that from Tetsuya Nomura's standing on this is that this is going to be the final in the Xehanort saga. So the game title is still going to go on, but it's not going to be about Xehanort anymore. He'll probably die, but spoiler alert. And just letting you know that there are going to be spoiler alerts. Yeah, sorry for the late intro on that. But we're going to be talking about a little bit of a topic that I kind of find troubling. And this having to do with what Disney has been doing in the recent months and the past years, and that they've been going franchise shopping, and they have just been buying up like very very infamous franchises like the Marvel franchise and LucasArts. So they own pretty much the Avengers and Star Wars. So in my opinion, people have been gobbing about this a lot, that we're going to be seeing, like Skywalker and Wolverine in our Kingdom Hearts games. And it's going to be awesome. My view on this is actually very, very, very pessimistic, and I'm sorry to say it, but I don't see these two showing up. I mean, it's not like Tetsuya Nomura and the Kingdom Hearts crew haven't neglected other franchises. I mean, it's all been around Disney based, and for those of you who are a little bit skeptic on that, is that they haven't touched Pixar. They've had 8 titles out, and they haven't touched, famous ones like Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and Up and Wally. They haven't even gone to any of those lengths yet. And those are big things that you associate with Disney a lot. But in this case, is that we haven't seen any of them. We've seen mostly, like the more famous movies like Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lion King, Mulan, Sleeping Beauty, Tarzan, Aladdin. My opinion on this is that we're not going to actually see these, and I'm not going to say like, oh, I don't like my Wolverine in my Kingdom Hearts. I'm not going to say that as just baseless opinion. I feel as though that I will not argue this point unless my argument is kind of valid here. So I'm basically going to start. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a two-parter. It's going to be one part discussion about Star Wars and one discussion about Marvel, and both these are going to be discussions about why I don't think that they're going to exactly fit. So, without further ado, let's start off with Star Wars. And my god, this is going to be the most difficult one to put in. For one, because we're already in a titles, and we're into the third, which is going to be coming out within probably the next 2 or 3 years. And really, where do you start with that? That's my question to the fans. Where are you gonna start? Are you gonna start at the episode 3 with the original Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Darth Vader, or do you want to go straight for episode 1, The Phantom Menace? And I just asked if people wanted to start with The Phantom Menace. That's already a bad idea. I mean, Square Enix is going to have to really swallow their pride and make Jar Jar. Yeah, I'm bagging on Jar Jar. Screw me. But it's a valid point that where are you going to start in the timeline? And especially is that where are you going to fit this all in? Especially if you're going to start with the third episode, which means that we're going to have to actually make a prequel game introducing the first three, being Phantom Menace, and the other two movies. I don't really care their titles; they're both pretty much crap. But the point is that those are the past ones. Are we just going to start with Anakin Skywalker as a kid on Tatooine, and Sora just comes up here and like they meet up with everybody, like Qui-Gon Jinn and the old Obi-Wan Kenobi. The young Obi-Wan Kenobi. I just feel that that's kind of haphazard, and it's not like I don't like the idea, because I would find that some of these things in Star Wars would be actually kind of fun in Kingdom Hearts, because a lot of it has to do with traveling to new worlds, and that's never been a problem with Kingdom Hearts. But the biggest problem is that your storyline moves. It's like, where does it come from? Where do you want to start? And also, the second part of this is that being that there's the live action and now the CGI Clone Wars, so which continuity do you want to follow? I mean, they're all in continuity, but the fact is that you gotta choose a medium here. You gotta choose CGI or live action. I mean, we chose the live action version for Pirates of the Caribbean. We're not going to choose anything else. So we're not going to make it animated just for the sake of being animated. So really, you gotta find out where it fits in timeline and which design you want to go with, and that's going to be difficult because I believe that the story's already been sort of set up for Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm not sure where they could possibly put it. Now for some of the good things I think about this a little bit is that I think that, if you were to have a gummy ship, like aerial battle, and you see all these high tech X-wing fighters and Y bombers and all the Tie fighters just shooting everywhere, and you've got this Tinker Toy looking gummy ship, and it's the one that blows up the Death Star. That just sounds incredibly silly to me, and it just kind of sounds fun. You blow up the Death Star with a gummy ship. That doesn't even sound intimidating. I'd be like, the Emperor like, why did I attack the gummy ship? Why did I attack? And really, Darth Vader is an incredible villain, especially being that he's an absolute, and here's your pun for Kingdom Hearts. He's a complete heartless bastard. being that literally he's more man than machine. He's very, very much like emotionless. He almost probes Leia's brain with a giant syringe and cuts off his own son's hand. He doesn't give a crap, and that could be an interesting point to him controlling Heartless or the darkness flowing around him because he's just such a monster. And that would be an interesting point. And as for the third movie, where if there's a possibility where Sora has to fight Anakin, it's that much more of a heartbreaking point because no matter what you do, you're not going to save him. And this is a series where you start out with a friend, and then now he's your enemy, and that's kind of sad to be sad. It's really sad. It kind of gives you that despaired kind of feeling, especially seeing as how we had that kind of scenario with Sora and Riku in the first one, and Terra fighting Master Ericus in Birth by Sleep. So it's not like we haven't stepped on the idea of very, very heartfelt battles in the Kingdom Hearts series. So it's not like this isn't possibly a good idea, but it's just that the big issue of timing and where this stuff is going to go. And not to mention that, the movies and the CGI series aren't the only things. There's also the video games and the books. So basically, is like, where are you going to go with this? Are you going to go with Knights of the Old Republic? Or are you going to do the Force Unleashed? It's basically, where are you going to put all this stuff? Where are you going to set it up? So it's just kind of an odd placement, at least for now, because the saga, the Xehanort saga, it's in its final stages. So I maybe you could put it in the next saga. I wouldn't be so sure, but it's just really, where do you put it? Where in timing wise? Because there's even stuff before Anakin shows up. There's before anybody shows up. There's Darth Plagueis, who is an absolute monster throughout the entire series. So I don't think it's going to show up. Now for the scrutiny that I'm going to probably deserve, and this is Marvel. I kind of have a hard time with this because there's just one thing that I actually like about it, being in a Kingdom Hearts game, because I think that this could be a really epic part. But I'm also very, very stringent with all of the stuff that could possibly mean that it can't work. And the first part is that, what continuity are you going with? Because comic books, whether Marvel or DC or Dark Horse, have different continuity. They have different universes, different worlds, like Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 1 or 2. And it's just all over the place. Like, what continuity do you want to use? What kind of saga do you want with? And for those who don't really know the continuity comic books, in one universe, let's say for instance, Thor dies in one continuity, but in another one he doesn't. So those can be very different points. And I think what people are going on is that I think they want to see more or less the Avengers. They want to see the movie that just came out, and you know what? I wouldn't blame them. I mean, I thought the Avengers was a great movie. It's not like Oscar worthy, but it's a great fanfic. Um, but it just doesn't seem like that's enough motivation to put it in the game because we've only just come out with one. Whereas if people are going to complain about live action movies, you're going to say, oh, who will we put pirates in? But at World's End was already available by the time that Kingdom Hearts 2 came around. So it's hard for us to just go off of one game. And being that only the second movie's villain, another villain, has only just been announced, is like, well, when can we put this in for the future? So, I mean, maybe they'll do that because I mean, the pirates wasn't exactly a part of the traditional Disney style. So, I mean, maybe they may put it in there, and there could be a lot of stuff that you can use with it. You can, have an entire chase scene trying to capture Loki while assisting the Avengers, and it could be like all this all right, go to this point because we're having a problem with this one, and it's constantly aiding the Avengers in certain scenarios, and it can be really fun, and you can do a lot of teamwork stuff because they've been doing, like that kind of stuff since Kingdom Hearts 2 came around, when you got to do these awesome team combinations with, people like Aladdin, people like Orin. Uh, so it could there's a lot that could be worked with, but it's the type of continuity that you want to work with, and that's the biggest problem is that what continuity, what universe do you want? It's kind of upsetting. Especially when people are saying, "Oh, well, you can put X Men as live action," but some of the X Men, the some of the X Men continuity is terrible in that game, and several people who enjoy comic books who hate the movies are gonna hate seeing this stuff get that kind of recognition. I mean, for me, I I, I can like certain X Men movies, but some of them just whoa. I mean, how you envision Deadpool like that is just absolutely nuts. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is good as the beforehand Deadpool, but this is just stupid. It really is just stupid. How they make him, they sewn his mouth shut and gave him swords in his arms. That's not Deadpool. That's not the Deadpool that people love and enjoy. So it's basically on up of what you want in it. For Star Wars, it was continuity and timing. For this one, it's continuity and which universe. So it's a huge list of things that you have to center on. You have to decide, well, which universe do you want? And I know that I'm pounding the nail on the head with this, but it's really like that because there are so many universes, like the Ultimate Universe, and some of them have bad endings, really, really bad endings. If you don't believe me on that, go to Spider-Man. One More Day is a complete waste of time. Not to mention that you're gonna throw in, if you're gonna throw in continuity, you're just gonna throw in some of the things that fans don't like. So it's kind of hard to put that in a Kingdom Hearts game, especially trying to ease on the whole point. We're not trying to overshadow the Kingdom Hearts series because it's all about Xehanort. It's all about the Organization 13 and how they messed up Sora's life and how Sora has to become, the key to unlock all worlds and the key to, renew all hearts and basically fix it. It's not like we have to, throw so much at us for the Star Wars universe or for the Marvel universe, but it just seems that the Marvel universe is so big and vast that it might overshadow the Kingdom Hearts universe, and it's just kind of odd like that. So, I mean, if they decide to put in the Avengers one, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind that as much, but I don't exactly see that being, like a thing that Tetsuya Nomura would write on because before, and this is drawing to the end of this argument, is that beforehand is that Tetsuya Nomura created a balanced story that he thought would stick. But what he did was is that he combined all the elements of Square Enix and Disney. Now he combined the ones of the traditional Disney standard and the newly revamped the big Square Enix program, and basically that for those of you who don't believe that besides Pixar that Tetsuya Nomura will choose to use other franchises, and I don't believe he's going to use these because beforehand, if it's about the money, then he would have jumped on this bandwagon. And being those for you who don't remember that Miyazaki films are an association with Disney. So if he was all about the money on this one, is that he would have jumped on the Miyazaki bandwagon a long time ago. Because even before Spirited Away, you had My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa and Valley of the Wind. So you would have seen these before, but in a post that he made a couple years back, is that he decided that Disney would be a franchise that he believed was purely Americanized because he was inspired by the very bubbly, very cartoonish atmosphere, something that the world of anime and manga and the very serious tension and very very Japanese looking cartoons was that these were two completely different mediums that their designs were just completely different from each other of how they flow together. But when he thought about it, is that the Final Fantasy was kind of no different from the messages that are spread in the Disney movies, and these were all on, believe in yourself, like you're fine the way you are, and you gotta grab your dreams. You gotta go for them, and defend people, defend your friends. Know who's really good on the inside. And I like that. I like that how that both Square Enix can teach you that Square Enix has that happy-campy feeling to it, and that Disney has always envisioned that happy-campy attitude. They've always been able to create a visual very appropriate for it, very childlike, but telling you a very interesting lesson. Marvel is hard to do on that, and Star Wars has weird moral backgrounds on it, so I'm not sure where that would flow because I'll admit it, this is a very type of emotional series. So yeah, like grab your tissues. So it's kind of based on the emotional. Like some people will like start bawling for no reason, but that's just how Tetsuya Nomura envisioned it, and that's what we've grown to love about it. So really the thing is that aside from the things good things I've said about it, like possible boss battles and like interesting scenarios like the gummy ship battles, and like the stuff with the Avengers is okay, but it doesn't seem that it's enough to warrant a part of the story. And I'm not downing it because some of the stuff does sound fun, and I bet there's a lot of other fan fiction out there that sounds fun too, but it's just hard to put these things into a story that's already grown for so many years. It's 2013, guys. This is a total of 11 years worth of Kingdom Hearts games that we've all grown to know of on solely Square Enix and the Japanese and the Disney franchise. So it's kind of hard to put two other main franchises into that. So I'm not saying that don't like uh, like don't believe in this stuff or your idea is stupid. It's not because you know there are always these collaborative games that never thought that they could work. I mean, the idea of adding very serious tones from Square Enix and sometimes downright depressing, and adding in the fluffy and fun Disney would sounded like a stupid idea at one point to a lot of people, but at this point, anybody who thought that at this point is now completely wrong and regretting it, seeing as how a huge fan base has started from it, and it just continues to grow. So aside from that, I'm saying keep your ears and eyes open. That it's still Kingdom Hearts, regardless of Marvel and Star Wars. It's still going to be an awesome series. It has been for 11 years, and it will continue. As for the rest of the mediums out there, and I know that there's more to the franchises um, that they have. Like they own franchises for the Land Before Time. I mean, who's to say that that can't work? Those teach you that definitely many lessons in a very kid like environment. But aside from that, it's pretty much it for this. So um, I'll be giving you some information about the Tokyo Game Show and what's been going on, and basically just keep on trolling, guys, because Kingdom Hearts is coming and it's not going away anytime soon. So this has been Fonzie, and I'll see you guys later.